Now, I don't drink alcohol, but I have some interesting information on how much of alcohol you would have to drink before you develop a liver damage. A lot of people take alcohol during social gatherings in their privacy, so we want to establish the relationship between alcohol and then your liver. How much alcohol would you have to drink before it causes liver damage? Your liver is a primary organ for health, so just imagine if there is damage to this vital organ, your health is going to decline and you will end up dead earlier. First of all, alcohol is a bona fide toxin, and there are no single health benefits of taking or drinking alcohol. But in spite of that, people still take alcohol, especially for those who are heavy drinkers. They do experience some bloodshot eyes and they get hangovers the next day. It is not a pretty good feeling at all. So what is the damage with respect to taking alcohol? Let's look at what the data says about alcohol and then the liver disease. One study revealed that just 21 binge drinking sessions produce early stage liver disease. What is binge drinking session? It is the consumption of an excessive amount of alcohol in a short period of time that brings blood alcohol concentration to about 0.8 grams of alcohol per deciliter or higher for adults. It corresponds to consuming 5 or more alcohols for the men and 4 or more alcohols for the women within a 2-hour period, which is equivalent to 1 can of beer with 12 ounces of beer, 8 ounces of malt liquor, 5 ounces of wine, and 1.5 ounces of a shot of a liquor. So if you take 5 grams of beer, for example, you get about 4 grams of this concentration of alcohol in your system, which is potentially going to cause early stage liver disease. The study also showed that one session of binge drinking increases your liver enzymes. You see, when you consume alcohol, it goes through the bloodstreams and gets to the liver. Your liver has to stop everything it is doing and concentrate to get rid of this toxin because it sees it as a toxic substance. It has to deal with this toxic substance, and that is when you begin to develop what we call inflammation in the liver or scar tissues called cirrhosis. And cirrhosis used to happen or occur in people in their 40s and above, but now the youth and those in their 20s and 30s are getting it, and it is very sad. From 1999 to 2016, the death from liver cirrhosis has increased by 65% because more younger people are now drinking alcohol. And for example, I had a high school teacher who died from alcoholic fatty liver disease, and surprisingly, we all thought he was in his 50s until we saw the obituary. He was actually 37 years old. He looked much older than he was because he was a heavy drinker. Some years ago, I also lost one of my patients to alcohol. When he was admitted due to heavy drinking, we managed to treat the liver and reverse the cirrhosis. But months later, after being fine, he relapsed again and went back drinking. And this time around, he didn't survive. He died at an early age of 35. So alcohol damages the liver. And on the average, when you consume an alcohol, it takes about an hour for all the liver enzymes to break it down into a less toxic substance. But the constant drinking of alcohol over time overwhelms these liver enzymes, and you begin to lose this enzyme network that helps you break the alcohol down to a less toxic substance. And that eventually creates a lot of problems, not only in the liver, but also with the kidneys, the pancreas, and then other organs. And initially, you start developing fat in your liver, and the fat starts to create inflammation, which can then lead to scar tissues and also insulin resistance, which would now increase inflammation. So it's like a never-ending cycle with liver damage. With hepatitis, which is the inflammation of the liver, it usually starts within 5 to 6 years of heavy drinking on a regular basis. And for liver cirrhosis, that usually takes place within 5 to 10 years or more. Because if you keep the liver in that constant state of healing, the liver will start developing scar tissues. And what is dangerous is that it is a silent disease, meaning you don't see any clear-cut symptoms at the beginning until it is very late. It advances, you start to see yellowish coloration of the eyes and sometimes in the palm called jaundice, and belly protrusion called ascites, that is the accumulation of fluid around your abdomen as a result of damaged liver. This one is an advanced stage liver disease, And as things progresses, you start to developing more and more symptoms like itchiness, especially at the bottom of your feet, high estrogen levels in men especially, fatigue, dry mouth, loss of muscles, bad breath, and so many other symptoms. Now, there are a number of factors that affect the alcohol consumption and our liver. The first is the concentration of the alcohol you are drinking. Either you've diluted it or it's in much stronger concentration. The second factor is if it is carbonated or not. And apparently, carbonation increases the negative factor on your liver. And then the third point is if you are consuming your alcohol with food. The food may buffer the negative effect of the alcohol on your liver, but to some extent. So if you decide to drink alcohol, which I don't recommend, or if you become an alcoholic, it is very important to eat healthy at the same time to minimize the damage that is going to occur on the liver. But the good news is that the liver is incredibly resilient, and it is the only organ that can completely regenerate by itself. So if you do well with a healthy diet, you can reverse your fatty liver or your liver cirrhosis. And if you start reducing the things that are causing the liver destruction, you can remove up to about 50% of the fat from the liver just within 2 weeks, and that is great of avoiding those things that cause the liver damage. And to know the foods that are causing fatty liver and how to reverse a liver damage, I have the perfect video for you. I'll put them right up here. You can check any of them, okay? So in conclusion, to answer the question, how much alcohol would you have to drink before a liver damage, is the damage starts from the moment you start taking alcohol. All right, this is the end of our discussion, and I hope I convinced you enough to quit drinking, and I'll see you in any of the videos right up here, okay? And always remember that God wants you healthy. Your health, your life. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.